Hello, everyone. Thank you for watching. It is the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. I'm your host, Barry Welsh. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, hit the notification bell if you're already a subscriber so you know when we're on, and leave a comment below if you would. If you'd like to help support the show, it's always welcome. It's always needed. It's Cash App, $ American Doofus, all one word. And if you'd like to contact me, americandoofus@gmail.com is the best way to do so. We have two breaking news stories this morning. First, we go to Florida, where overnight a 12 and 14-year-old children were involved in a shootout with police.
Developing this morning, a dangerous situation involving kids in a Volusia County neighborhood. Deputies say they had no choice but to return fire after a 12 and 14-year-old started shooting at them. And one of those kids was armed with an AK-47. This happened last night at a home along Enterprise Osteen Road, east of I-4. Mark Lehman is there live for us this morning. And Mark, deputies say they tried for hours to de-escalate this.
Yeah, the sheriff says deputies made several efforts to try and calm things down at this home here last night. But on every occasion, the sheriff says deputies were met by gunfire from the children who broke into this home. The sheriff expressing disbelief over what happened and outrage over what he calls a failed juvenile justice system.
This is something I've never seen in 35 years of policing.
The Volusia County Sheriff's Office surrounding a home in Enterprise on Tuesday, where they say two children, just 12 and 14 years old, opened fire on deputies.
And here's an indication of a 14-year-old and 12-year-old have it so bad in life that they're going to defy law enforcement and engage them in a gun battle.
Sheriff Mike Chitwood says the children ran away from a group home, a place they responded to nearly 300 times last year.
What the hell is the Department of Juvenile Justice doing, sending these kids to places that can't handle them?
According to investigators, the 12-year-old boy and 14-year-old girl broke into a nearby home where they found a shotgun and AK-47. Chitwood says the deputies were met with gunfire as they tried to de-escalate the situation.
But they took rounds, multiple rounds, before they were left with no other choice but to return fire.
The girl was shot by deputies and rushed to the hospital. The boy was then taken into custody after surrendering.
Thankfully, I have deputies who are going home to their families because they knew what to do. They were well trained.
No deputies were injured in the gunfire, and we're told the 14-year-old girl is stable after undergoing surgery for life-threatening injuries. Both children are now facing felony charges. As for the group home that they ran away from, today we are looking into its history. We'll keep you updated with what we learn. For now, reporting live in Volusia County, Mark Lehman.
That again is from Volusia County, Florida. And almost beyond comprehension. We will have more on that as it becomes available. Our second breaking news story on an international level involves the nation of Iran. Iran's biggest warship has sunk after a fire caused it to sink, and a fire coming under questionable circumstances.
Iran's biggest warship sank on Wednesday. The country's highest tonnage Navy vessel, known as the Karg, caught fire in the Gulf of Oman near the port of Jask, where it was on a training mission. All of its crew members disembarked safely following rescue operations that went on for hours. But efforts to save the ship itself were unsuccessful, and it sank, according to Fars news agency. No further explanation has been given for the latest incident in the region of sensitive waterways, though there have been accusations of attacks on ships owned by arch-enemies Iran and Israel there in the past. Iran has refused to recognize Israel since the Islamic Revolution in 1979 that toppled the US-backed Shah. And Israel sees Iran's nuclear program as a threat to its existence. Both parties have claimed they were targeted by the other in the last few months.
So, breaking news. Once again, our two main stories. A 12 and 14-year-old involved in shootout with police officers, with law enforcement officers, Sheriff's Department officers from Volusia County, Florida. after breaking into a residence and finding an AK-47 and a shotgun. And then Iran's biggest Navy ship sinks under questionable circumstances. We'll be following both of those stories as they develop, and we'll be back with more. As always, it is the American Doofus Show. Thank you for watching. Don't be a doofus. I'm your host, Barry Walsh. It's a dark world. Try to be a light. Thank you for watching.